Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my Furi walkthrough on Furi Difficulty. This is the 7th boss, and it's called The Burst. So if you saw any of the promotional information for this game before it came out, you might know this fight, because it was the one that the developers showcased. It's against a sniper, and I think that this is probably one of the hardest fights in the game. Because not only will this sniper, if she hits you with that laser, kill you instantly, which means 3 shots from her and you're done, it's a restart, but it also has one of the most difficult patterns on the final phase that you will see in this game outside of hard mode. Just to give you an indication of how much harder this game gets, the final pattern in this mission is kind of like the average pattern in hard mode. It's batshit crazy and very challenging. The good news is, I suffered to this boss for quite some time, so I've figured out a lot of it, and hopefully I should be able to get you through this without too many issues. I have to call the developers out though as I get hit by a shockwave here like a noob, because I completely telegraphed it was a different move and I fell for it, so GG boss, you got me. That's a taunt, punish it every time. But in the developer footage for this game, they played this fight on the equivalent of easy. And on the game, if you play on easy, you don't get trophies. You have to play on the difficulty you're watching, which means there is no easy ride in this game, so I found it really funny that the devs would showcase gameplay of it, but on that difficulty. And you might be wondering, well Chris, how do you know that it's on easy? Well, I couldn't do the final attack pattern for this. I was getting my ass kicked. I was like, this is insane, I can't do this, and I was getting really frustrated because I'd die on the final form, and I had to do the full fight again, and it was pissing me off. So I remembered that they'd done that demo, and I was like, oh wow, I'll look at the demo, I'll see what, the dev does, because it's obviously, maybe the designer or the director or somebody like that, or maybe the game tester. He'll know what he's doing, he'll make it look easy, and I'll have some baseline of what I'm doing wrong. And lo and behold, I skipped to the end of the video, and the final pattern is a joke. A complete utter joke. And I'm sat there thinking like, oh no, this is not good. So, it has to be said, folks, the devs, they probably had their reasons, I'm only poking a bit of fun, but the footage they showed is not this difficulty, and you're going to notice real quickly why. But the boss, how you hit her is, you bait her into shooting, then you attack her afterwards when she's reloading. That will reveal her, and then you'll start on these sequences where she comes close. This move here, get behind the pillars. If you don't, you'll take damage. Then punish her with a charge attack. This boss attacks 2 hits fast, pause, 2 hits fast. That's kind of her combo here. And unfortunately, I wasn't as sharp as I was last night when she was beating me up, but I soon fell back into the rhythm on this particular recording. But there goes that HP bar. Here is the unskippable monologues in between rounds, and here is the only real mob of the game. So between phases and attack patterns from this boss, she releases those turrets that shoot at you. They will follow you through this area, respawning, shooting big old blazes of bullets. There's only one use to them. You can use them to get HP back. Everything else, that was a performance dip just then. That wasn't my capture device, that was the game. What have we done? This is the 7th video, and that's the first dip you've seen. So the performance is generally very high. I assume PC will be the best platform. It might even have the VSync issue fixed, but I'm not sure. Hopefully you can bind keys on PC as well, so it makes the game easier. But PS4, unfortunately, doesn't have those features just yet. But here we go. So, for this phase, she's going to shoot at you, so you have to use the columns to defend. Dash around this, what is that, pentagon? And then punish her. Put her down, and then it moves to the next phase. So you'll notice, I immediately start charging the attack. Get out of this. It's going to do weird force fieldy things, and I'm going to dodge this like a moron, which is to say I'm not going to do it very well. But it's not too bad that actually when you're not charging. But trying to dodge while holding a charge is kind of awkward, as due to the aforementioned inability to bind buttons. But I charge as she's waking up, because she'll either move away from me and do some kind of crazy area of effect, or she'll try and attack me. If she tries to attack me, all I do is keep holding charge and I press parry with another finger, parry her, release the charge. That is literally the strategy to kill almost all the bosses in this game, if you time it right. And the timing is very simple if you can get that block. So she's gone invisible, and now she's going to start attacking us. She also counters too, so be careful. but you can't hit her until you do this. So either block all her hits and then attack her when she's in recovery, or perfect parry and it'll get her out of it immediately. This is a Danmaku section, so dodge the force field. It was a tame one though, it's going to get way worse later on, just you watch. But there we go again. Block into charge attack, put the boss down, deal that nice hefty chunk. There's a taunt, she dodged it, which is rare, and now she's going to summon the little dudes. So these little robots will fire a purple orb at you that's quite fast. You can parry it back with good timing, but you can kill them with like 1 or 2 bullets, and this is when the curtain fire starts. So the purple cannot be negated, but the blue can. So use your blaster to shoot the blues away, wait until the last moment, and then dash through those strips. It's tricky at first, but once you get used to it, you'll be fine. And then of course on hard mode, it's going to be way worse. It'll be a denser pattern, there'll be more things to dodge, it'll be a nightmare, basically. That was a taunt, but she dodged again. There's her double hit, but I don't have the time. 1. There was just 1 hit, could have hit her after that. 1, 2. 1. Oh, she missed. And here we go again with the force field. So this is going to be the shockwaves as she starts beating me up. 1. Perfect parry, put her down. Awesome. So she's going to take 1 more hit to get her into the next phase. She'll probably wake up with bullet hell. Oh no, she's summoning robots. So kill the robots. You'll notice if you put some distance between you and those robots, they don't generally fire. They only fire when they get close enough to do so. Here comes the bullet hell. She has no life though, so if you do enough shots, you can put her down before it begins. And then we're up close. Parry. Oh, that was bad. So charge achieved. Block. Oh, that was perfect. So that puts her away. I wonder if I'll charge my move here. Charge your move, Chris. Good lad. This will do way more damage. Look at the damage on this. If you want to kill these bosses quicker, do that. It's insanely powerful. And it's a feature that I underuse because I really like doing the charged moves. But that's the end of that phase. So here she goes. What is she doing? More robots? Oh no, she's just doing invisible combos. 1, that was perfect. Takes her out of it. Put her on her ass. So the animations for those charge attacks, I really like them. And personally, it doesn't bother me that it's the same one every time and they're only different between bosses. But, you know, if I had to be super critical or if I could request a fix or a change, it would be nice to have more than one of those, depending on maybe the way that you hit her, or maybe they could cycle through a few different ones, just for the sake of diversity. But of course, if you don't know, the team that's behind this are only a small team, guys, and I think they've done a fantastic job with what they've achieved. So I think it's pretty understandable that they don't have, you know, the time and the resources to be putting in stuff that's just not really necessary once you've got something there. But here we go with more bullet hell. So do you see how there's that kind of crazy eye-trippy area? You can't stand on it, it will damage you. So you need to be aware that this is going to move into this middle bit, and then dodge the bullets accordingly. Now we're up close. Wow, GG, she nailed me. There's the charge, 1 block. Notice how she's countering me now. She won't let me block into the parry move. That was terrible. So you might be wondering, what did I do then? This game's really fast, and it's hard to tell what's happening unless you've played it, so I have an advantage there to some people. In this game, when you block a move, you can sometimes attack and interrupt the next area and do damage. It doesn't work all the time, but it can work. And sometimes by being aggressive like that, you can push the advantage into your court. And that's what I was trying to do just then. And it's mainly because I'm trying to finish her off. I'm getting a little bit greedy, and I don't recommend you do it because it's not clean. You want to get as clean as you can with this game. Here we go, finally I dodged the move. And then this is the desperation one. This is it, guys. This is the hardest pattern in the game up to this point by far. And the trick is to group up the sweeping things that you have to dodge so you can dodge 2 at the same time. So, do you notice how there's those blue bands? You cannot touch the blue bands, they will hurt you. You have to dodge through these brown strips, or these orange strips, and then she's going to start charging an attack, so get behind one of the pillars. If you don't, she will one-hit shot kill you. And now we get even more sweeps. So do you see how these 2 lines kind of coalesce and make a cross? You want to try and dodge into the gap that they're generating by themselves. And it gets real messy, because it's real tricky. But always, as soon as that laser happens, look for the shelter, get to the shelter. And hopefully this isn't too crazy for you, because it was for me when I first got here. I was like, are you serious, dude? This is ridiculous. And I'm still messy on this part, but as soon as you get to there and you attack her, you've won. But getting to that point, well, you haven't won technically, you've won that phase. Now we have to do an invisible boss fight. So watch for the shining light, listen for the noise, and then punish her. Charge your sword if you want her for that extra damage, or charge your stun attack. She's dodging it here though, so I should just do standard combos. 1, oh, mistake, 1, 2, 1, there was just 1 counter. If she stops after 1, you can counter. Normally she'll go 1, 2, gap, 1, 2. That was a perfect parry, so that will put her down. And there'll be 1 attack needed after this, because perfect parries don't do enough damage. Here it comes. And then we finish the boss. So it might just look like every other fight you've seen so far to you, but when you play that one, folks, I recommend you're going to have some issues. The shmup section at the end there on that final attack is way, way more precise than anything that's been required of you, and you really need to get used to charging those dashes, getting that extra momentum, and dashing at the last possible instant without being too late. The mistakes I was making in that at the beginning of the phase is I was dashing too late, so I was taking damage before I was invincible, and it soon adds up, and you'll see that continue screen, and it does get very frustrating, but try not to get mad, try to stay cool, you know, it will get easier the more you play, and then when you get on hard, all of this is going to look easy because hard is twice as hard. But thank you for watching, and you take care now.